Hello everybody, it's me, the Lego Dude, and as you can tell from the title of this video, Leeds have appointed Sam Allardyce to be their manager in a last-ditch attempt to attain their Premier League status for a fourth season. They appointed Allardyce after sacking past manager Javi Gracia after an atrocious record of 18 goals conceded in the past 5 games, with a 5-1 loss to Crystal Palace and a 6-1 loss to Liverpool at home, and just recently a 4-1 loss to Bournemouth. Sam Allardyce is already Leeds' third manager this season, with Jesse Marsch being sacked back in February. Sam Allardyce is a very experienced manager, and he's well known in the Premier League for either steadying the ship of clubs in turmoil or for helping clubs escape relegation. In Big Sam's entire career in the Premier League, he has only ever been relegated once, which was a couple seasons ago with West Brom when he was unable to keep them up after he was appointed in the middle of the season. With 4 tricky games left of the season and Leeds only being clear of the relegation zone by goal difference, it's going to be a very hard job for Big Sam to keep them up. His contract with Leeds consists of $500,000 up front and then $2.5 million extra if he's able to keep them in the Premier League, which is an extremely ridiculous sum of money for only 4 matches, but since Leeds are desperate, they're willing to fork up the cash to see if they can stay up. In 2023, Big Sam's tactics might be labeled outdated, and they probably are, and I think that Big Sam probably wasn't the best appointment that Leeds could have made at this point, but he's still a big improvement over past manager Javi Gracia, so I don't think that his appointment is as bad as a few people are trying to make it seem. The issue still remains though, no matter who Leeds would have appointed, this last one of 4 games is extremely difficult for anyone to be able to save Leeds. First, they need to face Manchester City at the Etihad, and Manchester City are basically Premier League champions at this point. Then they need to face off against Newcastle, with Newcastle probably needing this game to finish securing top 4. After that, Leeds need to travel to the London Stadium versus West Ham, which is also a crucial fixture for West Ham for them to secure survival. And then on the final match day of the season, they have to face off against Spurs. Even though this last one of games is extremely tricky, I do think that it's possible for Leeds to survive and they could scrape up to 6 points out of this. I think that they'll lose versus Manchester City at the Etihad, but with Big Sam at the wheel, you'll never know. They could just try playing with 10 at the back basically and try to scrape out a 0-0 as well. I still think that Manchester City will win that match though, so that's that. Next up, Leeds have Newcastle at home, and I actually think that they'll be able to scrape a draw out of this. With Big Sam's tactics, he should be able to get Leeds defensively organized and should be able to scrape out a 0-0 or a 1-1 draw. Then on the penultimate match day of the season, Leeds have to travel to London to face off against West Ham, and I think that they'll also get a draw here. West Ham are still technically kind of in the relegation battle, even though they're mostly safe, and I think with a draw here, West Ham will have basically secured survival, while Leeds will have gained another crucial point in their fight to stay up. After that, on the final match day of the season, Leeds have to face off against Spurs, and I think that they'll win there because Spurs are just gonna do whatever Spurs do, and that'll make them lose. With that, Leeds will end the season on 35 points, and I'm really not sure if that'll keep them up or not. Most of the teams that are fighting for relegation right now will probably end up around the 34 to 36 point mark, so 35 points is really up in there if they'll stay up or not. It'll mostly probably end up depending on goal difference, and as Leeds' goal difference is slightly better than everybody else's around them, I think that they do have a pretty decent chance of being able to stay up. If Big Sam is able to drag Leeds to survival, that'll also give him the opportunity to end his career on a high if he chooses to retire after this job, because his last job before this one was managing West Brom, where he was relegated for the first time in his career. That'll allow him to end his career on having rescued one last Premier League club. But considering how bad managers are at retiring, even if he does keep Leeds safe, he'll probably be back in a year or 2 to help save another club from relegation. Alright everybody, that's all for this video. Tell me your thoughts about Leeds appointing Big Sam in the comment section down below. Do you think that it was a good appointment for Leeds to make to help them survive, or do you think that there's someone else better that they should have appointed? Do you think that Big Sam will be able to keep Leeds up this season, or do you think that they're going down to the championship for next season? Bye everybody!